You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM Hopewell, Virginia. Wole and Glen are your hosts. Ray and Mo are out. What is good, Glen?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Minicamp has started for the Washington Commanders. Things are looking, it's minicamp, but it's good here. You can see football season rolling along,
You can smell
coming
it.
along.
You can
You
smell
can
the
smell it.
grass. It's there, man. I can smell it. I can
Yeah,
smell it. You know what I mean? I'm there. I'm excited, man. I'm excited
yeah.
too. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG _everything and hit us up on IG at ABG _everything and like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel as well. All right, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. With wide receiver Terry McLaurin possibly missing mandatory minicamp, we'll discuss whether Washington can be successful without him this season. So let's jump right into it, Glenn. He's missing minicamp. First off, what are your thoughts about the reports that he's going to miss minicamp?
No concern at all. I think the last time we talked, I expected him to miss minicamp because they haven't got a deal done. He can't afford to get hurt, right? If you're Terry McLaurin, you want to get your deal extended, the worst thing you can do is come to camp and get hurt, right? They definitely not going to extend you while you're hurt. They're not going to give you that bread, that money, that bag, that cheddar, that cheese, whatever you want to call it, right? So they can't do that. So his agents are telling him a good move, mandatory minicamp. I guarantee the team will not suspend. The team won't find him, right? The team is not going to not get any money from him. So to me, this is a smart business move from Terry McLaurin. Commanders fans shouldn't be mad or upset unless he starts to miss training camp. Then that's the biggest. That's when you were like, okay, all right, Terry, what are you doing? Or Washington Commanders, what are you doing? Why are you haven't given this man this deal? It's more of a Washington Commanders deal. Why haven't you given this man a deal yet? Or why you guys haven't met in the middle somewhere to give him money? So right now, mandatory minicamp, not too concerned about that. You see a lot of players do it, especially players who want that money and don't want to get hurt. So not big issue.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I think that my thoughts are, man, you know how I stand. Give the man a bag. He's anybody on this team that deserves it. He deserves it. I mean, obviously you got to negotiate. So I'm not naive to the thing. I'm not mad at Terry. Guy, I think he should get his money. He's overplayed that. He's overperformed that contract. He's been a guy that has played for the team, played for the helmet, played for the uniform, played for the logo. And to me, those type of guys you reward. So I personally expect them to work to find a deal, but even if he holds out to training camp, it wouldn't bother me for Terry McLaurin. I think the team kind of put themselves in this situation. What I mean by that is, when you wait too long, you raise the market value. That's just what it is. Some of these other receivers are catching the bag, and Terry looking at it like, all right, well, this person getting this, I should get this, or I should get something close. So the longer you wait, this happens. So Washington has to be prepared to give him. If they want to wait long, then be prepared. If somebody else, if Debo drop and Debo get 25, be prepared to get Terry 26. Don't argue it because you waited that long.
Yeah, they can't wait. I mean, if you're the Washington Commanders, you want to get it done before everybody else start getting it back. We saw Krupp get his bag. Of course, Terry's not on the Krupp level yet, but Krupp raised the bar high.
He raised the bar, but even AJ Brown, you know what I'm saying?
AJ Brown raised the bar high.
So and Scary argument, that's been an argument that Scary is just as good as AJ Brown. So that's the, to me, that's the not Crump. I don't think he Cooper Kupp. He ain't Cooper Kupp level, but I think he can look at AJ Brown and be like, all right, I'm around there. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm around there.
Yeah, he can say he's around there, and I think he has opportunity. And his agents, his business guys are making smart decisions, and I think he's smart with his money. If he is, because if you need that bread right now, you will be going to minicamp, right? Yeah. You need it, so he's smart. Seems like he's smart with his money, and he knows what he wants. And the Washington Commanders, if they want to maintain fans, right? If they want to maintain a fan base, they need to give him his money. Because if this goes south for the Washington Commanders,
oh my God.
It is not going to look good for this organization. It's not going to look good for the management, the general manager, down to the head coach. It is not going to look good for it if Terry McLaurin does not get his money.
Man, I'm on, we posted this on Facebook groups, man. And a lot of that, what you're talking about, a lot of people would be so angry if he doesn't get his money. But man, Ricky ride out on Facebook said, "Hope not. This might finally break my back. One up and coming not a bandwagon." I don't know what that means, but that's whatever. I think she's saying that he would get off the team.
Right.
You got folks who say he's not going anywhere. Please stop, you folks who believe anything. I'm not saying he's not going anywhere, but like you want to make sure you wrap him up, because the longer you wait, the harder he's going to be able to sign. They're going to try to justify not signing him, right? So to me, like, you can't wait for so long. I'm not understanding. My man Ivy Chase said, "I'm not understanding it either. Pay the man. Hail to the Washington Commanders." Yeah, I just think you should pay the dude. But Glenn, just in case, so say that I think they're gonna sign him. I think we all believe that they're gonna sign Scary.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the question. But if this team is, I'm gonna change the question on the outline a little bit. If the team misses Scary for a certain portion of the season because he's holding out for this contract, say he decides to hold out to a certain point in the season until he gets his contract and he gets the money, or he decides to come play. Will this offense still be successful without him in the lineup?
I think they can be, and I know that's not the popular opinion. I think they can be because of the quarterback they have, and what this team has brought in. Right, this team has brought in a lot of tight ends, and this team has brought in a lot for this offense. If you look at what Carson Wentz did in Philadelphia, now this is where your boy, we're gonna have to mention his name. This is where Scott Turner has to become creative, right? If he does not have Terry McLaurin, and he's gonna have to change some things, and you're gonna have you put Dotson in a place that you wasn't gonna put him in. You got to put him in that Terry McLaurin spot. And so now guys like Cam Sims, who got a little bit of paper, gonna have to step up. The other receiver, your Curtis Samuels, right? They got some money, right? So they're gonna have to step up as well to replace that void, because you're gonna have to find those catches from somewhere, right? Yep. And so now the tight ends gonna have to get better. The receivers that been hurt can't afford to get hurt. Those receivers who drop footballs can't afford to drop footballs. Yeah. And then you have a rookie. You're asking a rookie to take a place of a veteran who's been there 3 or 4 years and still be productive. And now you just took away one of Carson Wentz's weapons that he's looking forward to. But it's not that much of a damage, because Carson Wentz had been in minicamp, OTAs, and training camp without Terry McLaurin. And so, therefore, he should be good with the group that he has around.
Yeah, it's tough for me because there's a lot of ifs. What you're talking about, like there's a lot of situations that have to happen. Yeah, and because we've heard this before with this team in terms of camp hype. Oh, this player looks good, and this player is just going to do this, and and this team's going to be they're going to be far more dangerous than people are going to imagine, and they come up being the same, one of the worst offenses in football. So like, to me, I think he's essential, man. He's essential because he's the proven commodity. Everything else outside of him isn't proven. And what I mean, and it's hard, and I know it's hard, it's rough to say, because Carson Wentz was once an MVP caliber quarterback, but the current Carson Wilson isn't, from what we've seen recently, hasn't been that guy, right? So when you're leaning on him to be that guy with a guy that was arguably one of the best, most underrated receivers in the game in Scary Terry, that he didn't have a quarterback. And now, he has an opportunity to have a legit NFL quarterback, and he's holding out. So I feel like for Carson, it's damaging, because now you're putting all of your faith into a rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver, to be your number one. And I said this before, regardless of what, people can be all excited about the shiny toy and Curtis Samuel, but at the end of the day, Curtis Samuel has never been a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Curtis Samuel has never been a number one. Curtis Samuel is a guy that has been a gadget player. We don't know what a gadget player. We don't know what Curtis Samuel is for real. You don't know, especially in this team with this regime. You knew, like, he had his best year in Carolina with guys that didn't coach him. That's on this regime. Like, people were like, well, he went to Carolina. That was Joe Brady. You know what I mean? And company over there. That wasn't Ron Rivera. That wasn't Scott Turner's offense. That was a whole different offense. That wasn't even the offense that Carolina was used. That's a totally different offense. So him coming over here, you don't know how he's going to be utilized. You're banking on what else? I like De'Ami Brown, but now you're hoping that De'Ami Brown takes another step from last season.
Yeah.
I see potential, but again, we don't know. That's not a guarantee. The guarantee, the player that can make everybody feel comfortable, right, is scary. Like, because you got that guy, and now you don't have that pressure on a De'Ami Brown. There's no pressure on Jahan Dotson. There's no pressure on you mentioned tight end. Logan Thomas had an ACL injury. He's not even 110%. So coming to the season, you don't know what Logan Thomas you're going to get.
Right.
So, like, you don't know. There's too much unknown. So to me, it's essential. If you want to talk about, going on a fast start, and because there are going to be difficult games in the season, you want to start fast at the games that you should win. You got to have Scary Terry, because you're going to need him to at least give you some momentum to a point when you play those other teams you believe. Because if you don't have him, you're not that much better than Jacksonville. You're not that much. I don't care what you are, because they got talent too. Just like we think we have, like, this organization has talent. They believe they have talent. Right. They believe that rookie quarterback is going to take 3 jumps because he doesn't have Urban Meyer as his coach. They believe just like us. So to me, when you have that guy at receiver, then that belief system is there. So I feel like it's essential to have him for real before training camp, so he can get the rapport with everybody. It's essential, man. Like, I think they need to get on the ball, because, for like you mentioned before, Ron Rivera needs this.
Yeah, Ron Rivera needs a season. I've told anybody that I've talked to, anybody who asks me, I think this is a make or break season for Ron Rivera. Yeah, you can say he won the division, but he won the division at 7-9, right? Yeah. He won the division during a COVID season. He won a division where some teams didn't have play. Okay, they won the division, but then they went to the playoffs and they did okay behind a young quarterback that Tampa Bay didn't plan for, right? That no one had film on. But he comes back the following season and the team doesn't look the same, right? Looks different. And so when we talk about, and Terry McLaurin was a big part of that team winning the division, big part of them being successful last year. I think if you don't have Terry McLaurin, you're gonna have to rely on Antonio Gibson a whole bunch, right?
And that's a guy you don't rely on.
Right. But, I mean, those 2 guys are the key factors. If you don't have Terry McLaurin, and Carson Wentz and Antonio Gibson are the 2 guys that have to lean on in this offense, right? Yeah. Antonio Gibson has to be able to run the football. Well, first of all, he has to be able to hang on to the football.
There you go. Right? That's the most important thing.
And he has to be able to hang on to the football and be able to get the Washington Commanders into a short yard situation by running the football where it's manageable, right? 3 or 4 yards here, 3 or 4 yards, second, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 situations where Carson Wentz can do what he does, roll out on play action passes, whatever the case may be, hit a tight end, or give the ball back to Antonio Gibson to run. If you don't have a guy like Terry McLaurin, you have to be able to run the football in this team. Whether you have Terry McLaurin or not, this team has to be able to run the football this year and have to be able to hang on to it. So Carson Wentz and Antonio Gibson are big. They're magnified even more so.
Agreed.
If Terry McLaurin is not there.
In the beginning, definitely. I totally agree. Posted this question on the Washington Redskins fans on Facebook, a Facebook group. Joel Sanders, in terms of, could this offense be successful without Scary Terry? He said, Joel Sanders says no. Oscar Cardona says no. And once again, effing it up, damn fools. Gina Thompson says, nope, pay the man, make it happen. Leon Henshaw says it takes more than one person to make a great team. Agreed, but when your offense is impotent, you need that guy. You still need a guy. It's a team, but you need the guy. You need talent. Let's not undermine talent now. Andrew Totten said the question should be, can the Washington Commanders have a successful season with or without McLaurin? They had him last year and not much success.
Well, not much success was because they didn't have the quarterback. It's not that he wasn't open, right?
Exactly.
It's not that he wasn't down the field. It was that you had a quarterback who tried to get him killed by throwing the ball.
Of course.
Down the field. That was getting him knocked out by safeties and cornerbacks coming across the field, or who was short arming him or throwing the ball behind him. Nothing against Tyler Heineke, because I think he did what he needed to do. He served the purpose. Will this team have been different with Fitzpatrick? We don't know. He played. You know what I'm saying? He didn't play but one game. So we can answer that question. But this Washington Commander team has a quarterback, right, who can get the ball down the field. And I think he needs all his weapons in order for this team to be successful. So Terry McLaurin has to be there. If he's not there, then the ifs kick in. Somebody else needs to step up and be that guy.
Yeah, and it's to your point. Then it has to come to Scott Turner as the offensive coordinator, and the two guys that you mentioned. Definitely, I agree with you. Like I think that's obvious to a point where if Scary isn't there, you had a 1,000-yard rusher in Antonio Gibson. You have Carson Wentz, who at one point in time was a high-level quarterback. Still, I mean, to a lot of people, a top 15, top 20 quarterback. So, which was better than what you've had in the past. So I do agree with you, Glenn. That's what they're going to need if Scary Terry misses some part of training camp, man. I just feel like, yeah, he's a vet and he's a young dude, but you still need to get, some chemistry with your starting quarterback. So I feel like it's very important for a wide receiver. And to that post about, they were bad last year, I'll go back to the post prior to that when somebody said it's a team game. Wide receivers are predicated on quarterbacks. If you're wide open, if you're open and they can't get you, then that's a problem. I've said this before. I said this on the show before. Everyone said that Randy Moss was trash in Oakland, that he was done. He went to Tom Brady, and he shattered records, right? And they were winning football games because of having a threat like Randy Moss. You know what I mean? That year. So to me, you get Scary with if Carson Wentz and Scary Terry can have that type of chemistry, because this is something different. That quarterback is a guy who can air it out, and with that, and Scary runs a 4.3 and a good route runner with 4.3 speed, and doesn't, like you mentioned, Glenn, doesn't have to adjust to the football. He can catch it on stride. He doesn't have to get killed a small dude trying to catch jump passes. You know what I mean? Like, ain't like he's 6'5". You don't got to worry about that. You know what I mean? So I agree with you, Glenn, totally. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Oh, yes, something you want to say, Glenn? I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it also realized, I forgot to mention one more other guy, and that the guy J.D. McKissic, right? McKissic is going to be huge in this offense. With McLaurin and without McLaurin, J.D. McKissic is definitely a difference maker for this offense for this team. And so if you don't have a McLaurin, you'll see more of a J.D. McKissic on third down. But again, goes back to Antonio Gibson being able to put the Washington Commanders in short yardage. So I just wanted to give J.D. McKissic his due.
Definitely, he deserves it. He's very valuable. We saw that last year. I mean, it's a fact. When he went down, this offense was not the same. That is a fact. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and go Errrything. Also, tweet us at ABG_Errrything and hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything and like our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything YouTube channel as well. Hey, Glenn and I, we enjoy doing this show. We enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene X and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces, a mega. Lead us out, big homie.